lovely library at Madison Place Elementary. I'm so glad to be here today to give you a library education discussion talk, the LED talk. Today's LED talk will be on collaboration and the school media specialist. When I tell my teachers here at Madison Place that I want to collaborate with them, sometimes what they hear is, I'm going to take part of their PLC time. PLC time is taken with Mastery Connect, it's taken with common formative assessments, it's taken with so many other tasks. And when I say I want to collaborate, they hear, there goes my PLC time. This year with COVID and all the things that are coming with it, teachers are very worried, apprehensive about the year. And so I want to talk to you a little bit today about collaborating with the school media specialist during a time of COVID and what that might look like. One of the things that it might look like is us communicating. Now, communicating is going to look much different this year because we can't get together like we normally have gotten together in the past. We can't sit at a desk together and visit as much. And so I'm going to be looking at using Voxer and other things like Voxer. Voxer is an app that you can use where you can leave messages to one another. You can form groups and communicate about your daily goings on and your daily plans. So say you might have a unit that you're working on together, you can discuss back and forth verbally with Voxer. Another thing that you might need to do in order to collaborate together is you are going to need to curate things. Curating is going to be tough now. We're not going to want to go down to the copy machine, run something off and put it in someone's box. We don't want to touch the stuff that other people have been touching, right? And so let's talk about some things that we can use technology-wise to curate. One of the things that I'm going to be using this year is my Madison Place library website. I've got a whole teacher page, and I'm going to be putting out everything there that teachers and I have worked on together. So if a teacher and I are working together on a plan to talk about westward expansion, then I'll put all the sites and things on there for westward expansion for her on there, and then I'll put it on her student website or on the student page for fourth graders so that they can access the sites as well. Another good way for us to curate ideas together and not have to be in the same room or running things off is with a lovely app called Wakelet. Wakelet is like Pinterest but kind of on steroids. You can organize it and do all sorts of things within Wakelet. And so I'm going to be using Wakelet with my teachers this year as well. Another thing that I'll be doing this year as I collaborate with staff is I'll be talking about creating and collaborating. And clearly collaborating was part of my main title, but in order to curate and create and collaborate together this year, it's going to be important that we use documents that we can both be using at the same time. So in Olathe, we are fortunate enough to have both our Microsoft Surface and our iPad. So while we might be Zooming on our Microsoft Surface, we could have Microsoft Teams or Google Classroom open on our iPad and be typing into a document. So we could be having a discussion via Zoom or via Hangouts while we are also collaborating on the same document at the same time. And so although we won't be able to meet in the same room, I feel like through Zoom and through the use of our devices and a few lovely pieces of technology, we'll be able to make this work. Another way to make this work is the use of Twitter, and I put cooperate up there. You know, for some reason in education, so many educators are very, they want to hold close their ideas as if they let them out into the world and someone else takes them, that might be a bad thing. You know, we have teachers pay teachers instead of teachers give to teachers. And we sometimes hold close those things because we feel like those are what makes us good teachers, and those are the things that the neighbors talk about out in the neighborhood, those wonderful things that we do, and we don't want to give those things up. We don't want other people to take those things. But what I found through my years of teaching, that if I give those things out, They're never replicated just the way I did them anyway, so it's not like anybody's really stealing my idea. They're taking that idea and they are making it their own. And in order to really collaborate, you need to be able to get into people's classrooms. But again, this year that's going to be a difficult thing to be able to do. You know, do we want another adult coming into our room and breathing the same air that we breathe, right? And so this year, the way that we're going to cooperate is by putting our stuff out on Twitter. You know, take a picture of what's going on in your classroom, take a quick video of what's going on in your classroom and put it out on Twitter. Here at our school, we've been using Twitter for many years, and we have some great tweeters down in the 4th grade. And Miss Milhuff, she loves to tweet out. And what is so fun about the fact that she tweets out everything that she does in the classroom is that our 5th grade teachers then, they get to see what's going on in 4th grade. And we have a 5th grade teacher here, Miss Buss, and Miss Buss always comments on Miss Milhuff's posts. And she'll say things like, wow, that's really cool, I want to hear about that. And so I think that's going to be another way that we can get into people's classrooms, because unfortunately we are not going to be able to gather together in the lunchroom or in the lounge this year. Our lounge is definitely not big enough to socially distance, so people are going to be eating in their own classrooms. People are not going to be visiting. And so I think one of the ways that as a library and media specialist this year that I plan to get into other people's classrooms and plan for us all to get into each other's classrooms so that we can be better together is by putting things out on Twitter. And that kind of wraps up my discussion. I've got a few books here that I just want to share as a part of my discussion and as a part of the whole COVID scare. You know, Mo Willems, he's really got it down, right? He talks about how waiting isn't easy. And you know, waiting for this COVID thing to get over is not easy. But if we collaborate and if we work together, I think we can make this year one of our best years yet. And the thank you book is lovely. Thank you for being a reader. Thank you, staff. Thank you, listener, for being who you are and bringing what you have to the table this year in the year of COVID. And then as a library media specialist, I just want to tell you that I will collaborate with you in the rain and in the dark and on a train and in a car and in a tree. We will be so good you see, if we collaborate together this year. Thank you very much for coming to my talk today, and do let me know if you have any questions.